What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Carlos and this is Carlos's fishing adventure. Alright, so I was going to install some fish rod holders on my boat today, but it ended up raining, so I'll just save that video for another day. And today we're going to talk about world records, and the world record we're talking about today is the biggest bass ever caught. Alright, so before I get started, just go ahead and like this video, subscribe it. You can like it after you see the video, but subscribe, that helps me out a lot. And yeah, let's begin. In 1932, George Perry caught the biggest bass. Remember, this was back in 1932. All right, he caught it in Georgia on Lake Montgomery, and that fish weighed in at a whopping 22.4 ounces. That's a huge bass. Like, I watch all these other YouTubers catch bass, and they get excited over a 10-pound bass, and I'm like, and I see the bass, I'm like, that's a really big fish. So imagine one double that size, more than double that size. No, that record has not been beaten in over 80 years. 80 years, it has not been beaten. And all George Perry was doing was just going out there to feed his family, trying to catch some fish, and he landed that fish. And then back in the day, there wasn't any fishing tournaments like there is now. You know how it's so competitive and you got sponsorships. Back then, it wasn't that big. Yes, they had small competitions, but that's it. So he ended up feeding his family with it, and then the next day they had a tournament. Field and Stream was sponsoring it, and he already ate the fish. Him and his family already ate the fish, but he already had pictures and he had witnesses and everything like that. So when that's all he had to do to sign up, and that's all he needed, and he ended up winning that competition. Field and Stream ended up giving him like a shotgun, some shotgun shells, and some clothes. To this day, it's still the world record. Or is it? Because in 2009, that record was beaten by 1 ounce. 1 ounce. Alright? And it was beaten in Japan. I can't say the guy's name because I can't read it right, so I'm just gonna put it down here somewhere. Right there. Alright? So in 2009, he beat the record, and I'll tell you how he beat the record. All right, so back then, Japanese people thought bass were a nuisance. Somebody brought a bass to Japan, and we don't know who brought a couple bass to Japan, but anyways, they started spawning. There were so many of them, so Japanese government said, when you catch one, you can't release it. You got to do something with it, but you can't release it back into the water. So there was still a small group of anglers that liked to bass fish, and this guy just happened to be out there at the right time and caught a 22 pounds 5 ounces bass. So he got him beat by 1 ounce. But also, guess what? So the officials say that for it to be a world record, it has to be beaten by 2 ounces. All right. So right now, currently, it's a tie. So it's a tie between those two until somebody catches a 22-pound 6 ounce fish, bass fish, which I don't think anybody's gonna do anytime soon. Just all these tournaments, and there's a lot of people keeping them, and just, you know, I think a lot of people like to let them loose here. So when you let the bass loose, it's less food for the other bigger bass. You see what I'm saying? So that's what happened in Japan. They were trying, to just get rid of them. So there was only a few bass left, and those few bass got all the food to themselves, and that's how that bass got that big. I don't think anytime soon we're going to beat that record. Maybe 5, 10, 15 years from now. Yes, I do believe there's probably a 25-pound bass out there somewhere. But it's probably out there somewhere where, like, nobody could get to this lake or something, and it might not be here. It might be in another country, just like in Japan. See? So I thought that was a fun information for you guys, and I enjoyed reading the article. It was a short article, so that's why this was a short video. If you guys did like this small story, I am going to do future stories from other world records. But don't forget to hit that like, subscribe in the bottom, and stay tuned for the next one. Bye.